Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/slash Tales from Tech Support. In today's episode, user needs help not having to do her job? Encyclopedia Moronica, W is for wins from zeros. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. User needs help not having to do her job? Edit, you can tell the Zoomers and Millennials from the rest here. One lot think it's okay to get paid to sit and watch TV, while lazily bothering to check your PC for work to do. The others agree that a person being paid to work should be present and actually at their PC. You could be occupying yourself with reports, additional learning, ask your manager what other work needs to be done. You're being paid to work, not paid to sit and do nothing. She can't take the laptop into the other room because they're connected to a physical landline and modem to ensure proper connection and availability. There's also ergonomic safety and work policy on data being seen by third parties from working from home staff. As for me watching YouTube? Yes, I do. After all my work is done, and all on-board, off-board, and other ticket queues are completed, I sit at my desk, waiting for a call to come in, and check the ticket queues every 5 minutes so the work can be resolved immediately. I don't just go sit in the breakout room and check my PC every hour to see if we have any missed calls. I get a call from a user telling me that she's got an issue with her computer locking her out every 15 minutes. She's your average non-IT savvy user, so I'm going through the usual open and closed-ended questions trying to work out if I'm checking her Active Directory account, her VIP access credentials, or if her Citrix desktop is timing out sooner than the usual 30-minute idle time. Turns out it's none of them. She means her auto PC lock. I ask her why she wants to change that, and turns out she's working for the evening in some capacity that requires her to monitor a queue, but it's at night, and she, in her own words, don't want to have to press a button every 10 to 15 minutes to stop the computer locking. So I ask her why she would need to do that. Just working would prevent that from being needed. She'd just need to unlock the PC after breaks, surely? She says no, she just wants to be able to go into the other room and watch TV, and just check on it on occasion. Now, without telling a user to suck it up and just do what they're paid to do, how do you communicate that sentiment? I politely tell her that we really can't change the setting because it's set by corporate policy. I explain it's a security measure that provides a first line of defense against unauthorized access if her laptop gets stolen. I ask if she has other work to do between that time and 8 p.m. to keep her PC unlocked. She claims there's not. I suggest usually when we're bored on weekends, we find work to occupy ourselves or ask the boss what needs doing over the weekend since we're being paid to work. Truth is, we watch a lot of YouTube on the weekends. She didn't leave happy with my suggestion. Encyclopedia Moronica, W is for wins from zeros. It was a bright, sunny morning. Birds were singing, the call queue was under control, the preventative maintenance up to date, and the office conversation was pleasant and light-hearted. In short, it was a perfect day at work. Too perfect. Clearly, something nefarious was afoot. Caller ID flashed, the boss was calling. Time to lance this festering boil of pleasantness and reveal the pustulant horrors within. Boss, hey Gambat. Me, hey boss. What's up? Boss, well, I've got good news, and I've got bad news. Damn it. I knew it. Boss, the good news is that we're taking on a new customer, Major_store. Me, nice. Do we have any information on what models of equipment they're using, service manuals, tech logins and whatnot? Boss, well, this came to us through supplier, because they're using their equipment. Apparently the original service provider for Major_store just closed their doors and left all of their customers hanging with no notice. Me, oh. I have a sinking feeling. Boss, yeah. The bad news is that we started as of Friday last week. Me, okay, weekend. Boss, and you have 3 outstanding faults at your local store. Me, alright. Yeah, I can deal with that. Can you send through the fault information? I'll review it, and then contact the site managers about how we can best alleviate their issues until we can get a permanent fix in place. Boss, well. Me, no, let me guess. Because this is so new, we don't have a way to get the fault information into our system yet, so we know we have 3 outstanding faults, probably even case numbers, but no idea what they actually are. Boss, yeah, pretty much. Have you played this game before? Me, more often than I like. Alright, I'll head to site and figure out what's going on. The site manager might be able to pull the information from their system with those case numbers. Boss, cool, let me know what you find out. Less than half an hour later, I walked through the front doors of the store. I located a manager and introduced myself. We walked through the site induction and signing in process, then we started talking about the outstanding issues. Manager, well, this printer prints funny. And so does this one. Me, okay, I had 3 case references for faults. Do you know anything about this last one? Manager, oh, here it is. Yeah, we called in the same fault twice on 2 different days and got 2 different case numbers. Oh, this is going to be a fun site to look after. I tracked down model and serial numbers for all the equipment that had faults lodged against them and departed. For now. I found the manuals for the printers online. The poor printing quality was likely due to faulty print heads, so let's Oprah this: you get a new print head, and you get a new print head, everyone gets new print heads. Even the printers that they hadn't reported issues with, because they were in the minority. The one that was printing funny also got a replacement main logic board. In the space of 3 parts deliveries over about as many weeks, all of the outstanding faults were cleared. Me, hey manager, I think we're done here. As best I determine, all of the reported faults are now resolved. Manager, that's great. Does that include equipment? Me, what's wrong with equipment? Manager, I don't know. The screen's black? Me, I don't have a call for it, but I guess I can take a quick look. If it's not a simple fix, you might need to log a call. Manager, great, thanks. Me, I don't know where equipment is. Manager, oh. There's 7 identical installs scattered around the building, so just have a look around, I guess. Great, I guess I'll just wander around until I find one that's malfunctioning? Well, we charge by the hour, so if they want me to wander about aimlessly, then the customer is always right. Superscript 1. Superscript 1 in this one, singular, very exact scenario, specifically, where it is at their expense, and I don't have anything else that I'd rather be doing. After a few minutes, I identified not 1, but 2 sets of equipment that were non-functional. The first was a very difficult problem that took all of my many years of experience to correct. I plugged it back in. The second was considerably more complex. On powering it up, the BIOS splash screen would flash up. Then the screen would go black. Manager? I've got no information on this equipment. Is that what it's meant to do? Manager. Me. Thanks. After a few minutes of the screen continuing to be black, I gathered that the equipment was not in some sort of startup processing state. Me, okay, I think this has got something a bit more serious wrong with it. You'll have to raise a fault call so I can book some time and parts against it. Manager, no problem, I'll book it right now. Me, great, I'll be back once I've got the job and the paperwork is in order. Manager, I'm doing it right now, you won't even get out of the car park. I made it out of the car park. 2 weeks later, a new job dinged into my queue. At long last, the job for equipment had arrived. In the interim, we'd finally received the official process for investigating and troubleshooting equipment. There was a special USB cable, a SD card, and a whole official and trademarked process detailing how to reload the files. Now that I had a job, I quickly drove back down to the store, extracted the equipment, and brought it back to the workshop, so as to better follow the official processes. Official process number 1: power up equipment, connect the USB cable, and access internal storage to reload application files from external sources. Result: no dice. Equipment is completely unresponsive. Official process number 2: boot from SD card, copy application files from SD card to internal storage. Result: nada. Boot menu doesn't even present on the screen. Official process number 3. Unofficial process number 1: improvise? Fall back on the skills and wisdom developed over years of experience, aka poke at it and see what happens. I consulted the manuals again and again and again. On what felt like the 900th consultation of the system manuals, I happened to notice a diagram that demonstrated the position of a reset switch under an almost unnoticeable pinhole. Given a severe lack of other options presenting themselves, I grabbed a paperclip and tentatively probed the recess. And nothing. No haptic or audible feedback. I might as well have been pressing a paperclip into the workbench. Intrigued, I reached for a screwdriver. In moments, the case was open. Inspecting the switch revealed that pressing it produced the normally expected click. However, under the pinhole was a soft plastic cover which had a small hole through it. The broken edges of the hole looked as if they might line up with the switch. Some short work with a sharp knife and some plastic cement superscript 2 soon had it repaired well enough to no longer trigger the switch. A further few moments reassembling the case, and I was able to power up the equipment, and this time, the BIOS splash screen lasted much longer than 10 seconds. After a few more moments, the store application loaded, and the equipment appeared to be fully functional once again. I grabbed the paperclip once again and applied it to the reset switch. After holding it down for 10 seconds, the screen abruptly switched off. I watched and waited and watched some more. After a moment of watching the system not boot up again, I was struck by a thought. I applied the paperclip once again and the system immediately began booting. The reset switch was actually a power switch, and after being turned off, it needed to be turned back on again. The damaged cover had been holding down the power switch, so when it was powered up, it would get 10 seconds into the boot sequence, just enough to display the BIOS splash screen then turn off. That these tools of my hobbies were readily available in the workshop should imply nothing about my utilization of work hours, because as demonstrated, there were legitimate business reasons for these tools to be present. /shifty eyes